We will be starting the program today from a very interesting conversation. Now, filmmaker Kunle Afolayan caused a stir in Nollywood over the weekend after he announced that his 2016 movie, The CEO, will be released on YouTube. You might be tempted to say, what's the big deal? Well, it's a big deal if you understand how the industry works. So releasing your movie on YouTube for free pretty much means I'm releasing this film to everyone. It reduces your chances of exploiting it anywhere else. It's free already, and also it can easily be downloaded and shared at will. So pretty much that's the end. But guess what? That's what he did. The movie, which was talk of town just about 9 years ago, got on the platform last Friday, leaving many wondering what Kunle Afolayan is up to. Well, I'm now being joined by the man himself to tell us what exactly is going on. Many thanks for joining us on the program today, Kunle. What part of the world are you? Are you on holiday, or the workaholic in you has started again?
Well, I'm currently in the UK. Well, I took a bit of, time off to rest, but, I think like Yoruba people say, "Ojo kulo ojo sinmi," because I have not rested. I thought I could put work aside and just relax, but that's not possible because we're currently working on several things. We're planning to shoot a series this year. We're in post-production of, the new season of our Nicolapo series. I'm also here to see the colorist because we're in full post-production now. Aside that, the Academy is starting a new master class that I'm involved with. And, Cap Village, they have lined up, of, different activities, the Valentine one, and several other ones. So, and but again, it's good to even take a day or two off, just to, quickly be out of Nigeria. But again, I'm already itching to be back because, that Nigeria thing in me, I can't stay too long outside of the country. Yeah.
I honestly don't envy your doctor, seeing how you don't like to rest. Anyway, let's get into the conversation proper. So you premiered your award-winning movie CEO on YouTube over the weekend. This is a first for you, seeing as it's a free platform. What informed that decision? Does that mean that you have exploited all paid opportunities for this movie, or is there a strategy in there?
So we decided to explore YouTube platform because since the CEO was released in 2016, it's only gone to cinemas, and then from there it went to I think it was on DSTV for like a year or two, and then from there to Netflix. And since then, it's been on Netflix. And this was like 9 years ago, and since then, nobody has seen it outside of, the Netflix platform. And now, this is a film with so much potential. The children that were 10 years old, in 2016, are now like 19 years old. They couldn't have seen it then, but now this is the opportunity for the larger audience to enjoy it. More so, the CEO is a multilingual film, in French, English, Yoruba here and there, Swahili, and stuff. And we feel that, a good film is meant to be seen by people. You're not supposed to put it under your pillow or anything. And the world, the YouTube has been seen as a platform where, things can be seen globally. I know that, it's funny that when we put out the adverts that were putting the film on, YouTube, a lot of people were reaching out to say, no, your film is too big for YouTube. Oh, your film shouldn't be for YouTube. Like YouTube is for just, low skits and low quality film and skits and all of that. I don't think so. Because sometimes when I go on YouTube, as long as it's genuine, the film is genuinely put out there, and the platform showing it owns the copyright of the film, then why not? I've seen a lot of, I saw Gladiator, I saw a lot of Jackie Chan film, and they were put there by the production company, of the film. So if it's a platform, genuine platform, where a film can be seen, then I don't see a reason why not.
Okay, for clearer perspective, what is the average shelf life of a Nollywood movie?
I will not, if you permit me, I won't say Nollywood movie. I will say life of an average good film, regardless of where it's being made or anything. Look at the Koreans, look at the Japanese, look at the Hollywood, look at Bollywood. There are films that, their lifespan is, I mean, you can't even, they don't, they will outlive even the actors and the people who made the film. So any good film stand a chance of being relevant forever, as long as the world exists. I saw on Instagram where people will post skits of Indian films like Mad, like Gazab, like these were films we watched like 50 years ago, 45 years ago. And right now people are still referencing them. And it's the same thing with a good Nigerian film or any film from the continent, at all, and this is why I will always encourage an average filmmaker, especially the younger ones, to when you're making a film, don't rush. Don't be too all about, no, I just want to make box office hits, or I just want a film that the whole Nigeria will be talking about, or they will be tying it to just making money in Nigeria. No, I don't make my film for, quick, box office hits. No, you can go and look at most of the films we've done, and you'll never see us screaming, oh, number one box office thing. I have no problem with that. It is promo, even for the film, if the film is making money. But after that Nigeria journey, where does that leave the film? Why are we why do we have films like The Figurine, the October one, The Phone Swap, still going from one platform to the other internationally? It's because they have, a lifespan that, will surpasses even you, the content owner. Because one, the stories are relatable, they have universal appeal, production value is of top notch. So if you give this to anybody, and most importantly, the post-production process that we did is such that if a new technology should surface tomorrow and they want to adapt the film or modify it to any format, it is possible. Look at the mistake we made with some of the classic core Nollywood films that were made in the 90s. You can't get those films on the shelf anymore because at that time, people were only doing them for commercial reason. And there were a lot of great films like Mortal Inheritance and so many of them. But can you get those films now? If you get them on VHS, which is the easiest you can find maybe from somebody's collections, can you reconvert a film from VHS to higher quality? You cannot. And people don't have those masters anymore. So the good thing is when you're making a film, don't make it all about the quick money that you want to make. Look at the future. Most of the films we have done, I can tell you the next 50 years, next 100 years, as long as they are well stored and preserved, they will retain the same quality that they have when they were made. And this will be my own advice and encouragement to a lot of filmmakers out there.
That's some free movie masterclass for our viewers. I think we should start considering charging tuition fee when next we're having this kind of conversation. But back to the matter though. When you made the movie, I remember you describing it as the AFCON of movies, seeing how the ensemble cast is from 5 countries in Africa, I know it was successful in Nigeria and even premiered in Paris. What was the reception like in other African countries, and why haven't you attempted something like that again?
Well, at that time, I thought I wanted to save the world or save the continent. And I never stopped, actually, because after CEO, I attempted it. You've forgotten that we try to do the same thing with Citation. And that was why Citation was shot in Nigeria, shot in Cape Verde, and also shot in Senegal. And this was because, at that time I said, we've not done anything with, Portuguese-speaking African country. We did with French-speaking countries in the CEO. So, and that was what informed going to Cape Verde, to see the possibility of filming there. Now with CEO, I'm not going to call it a failure. I think it was just me championing what, a Pan-Africanism should be like, and after that, we couldn't get it distributed in cinemas in other African countries because realistically, if you say Africa, as far as commercial content is concerned, Nigeria and South Africa are in forefront. And then maybe Kenya. Most of the other African countries are very small. They have smaller numbers. So distributors don't pay a lot of attention. Even streamers, even streamers, if you look at what they're doing in Africa, their concentration and focus is more on Nigeria and South Africa. They've not even done like 1% of what they've done in Nigeria and Kenya or any other African country, and that was what I tried to like break that genes of, look, why should let's remove all the borders, and then just create something that people would love. But there wasn't a distribution platform at that time that could take on the film, and that was what DSTV, Africa Magic, did that when we put it there, because you have Mnet and Africa Magic in most African countries. But when when Netflix came, Netflix helped to expand the potential of the film by putting it in on a global scale.
We are really running out of time, but just before I let you go, there has been talks around cartel and favoritism in Nigerian cinemas and theater operations. Have you been affected, or are you a member of the cartel, even though I know that most of your titles don't go to the cinemas anymore?
Look, this conversation, I don't know why people are talking now. This was something I raised like years back, but the reason people are talking now is because they have now been affected. When I was raising it, everybody felt, well, his own is too much. Is he the only one and all of that? But now, they are being affected. We're in and look, it's a commerce, it's a commercial, setup where money plays a big role. So I remember when some of these people, some of the distributors, when they came as exhibitors. And then from being an exhibitor, they were like, getting films from producers, and then they were putting it. And then they added distribution to it. So they will be the distributor. They take your film. The distribution arm of their company will take certain percentage. Then when they exhibit, the exhibitor says take certain percentage. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a global structure. Then after then, they felt, oh, we can be making our own film now, And then they started making their own film. And look, it's no brainer that if you're making a film, you own the platform, exhibiting platform. Why will you not position your film as, priority? I don't see anything wrong with it, because our country is a place where everybody can just wake up and decide to do what they want or do it the way they feel it works. There is no guidance. There's nobody to check. There's no check and balances. So, and they've done that for years. But now, because certain people are affected, they feel, why should we allow it? The person who could regulate that was government. Also, but there was limit to what government could also regulate, because it's an open market. So I don't see, if you call them cartel or not, it's the same in Hollywood. You have the studios. The studios control pretty much everything until the likes of Netflix came, and me, that was why I was so glad that I cannot dance, I can't, that energy that we put into, promoting our film is great. As a matter of fact, it used to remind me of when our fathers used to do it. Our father, it was the same format. It's just that there wasn't social media. Because at that time, if a film or a theater is going to show, they will sit on a bus, on a truck or lorry, and they will have drum, and they will be making noise all around the town, So it's the same thing that we're doing now. It's just that we're now using like, different platform. But then now there are so many content, and everybody's looking at the figure that somebody is announcing to say whether they are genuine or not. Nobody cares. People just read, and it affects them, and they feel they're a failure. You don't do that. Me, I'm not in competition with anyone. I'm never going to chase all of those things. If there are cartel, let there be cartel. You to form your own cartel and find a way to counter whatever it is that they're doing. I've had my own share of this entire thing. There was a time I was going to sue, a particular distribution company. They're also exhibitors, and at some point they said they were going to blacklist me. They're not going to release my films. After then, we've done things together again. So form your own cartel. You can come to me, we'll form our own too. And then we find a way to make it a more healthy, environment. Instead of people seeing the space is too big for, birds to fly.
Many thanks again, Kunle, for joining us, and we wish you all of the best. It's time for a quick break now. Entertainment news will be back shortly.